Welcome to today's media availability following today's second round matchup. For our media in attendance, please remember to raise your hand and a microphone will be brought to you. Please state your name and affiliation. And for those joining via Zoom, please use the raise your hand functionality and we will call on you. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach Sam Purcell before moving to questions for our student athletes, Alana Smith, Courtney Weber, and Jerkayla Jordan. Coach?
As I reflect, now that the year is officially done, a question comes to mind that everybody has asked me. What's the hardest thing being a first-year coach? And I honestly had no answer because we went so hard in this program that it was the best thing and the best environment ever. But to answer that question, it's this right here. This team is so special. These seniors are so special. What we did was so special. You got a program that a lot of people around the country that said it's done. It had its glorious years, but these young women were an absolute joy to coach. They gave their heart. They gave their soul. They were a great representation of Mississippi State and the university, and most importantly, they're winners on and off the court. This was a game where, what a week. I want to, again, thank the community of South Bend. This has been nothing but first class. I want to congratulate Notre Dame and their program. They are also first class. But tonight was just a night where you've got your third game in a week. The first two were just shooting the ball like no other, and things are going well. But you have to give credit to Notre Dame's defense. They're long. They make us take some rush shots. And for us to make a run, it was just fitting of who we are. We've had bad moments, but we never broke. They laid it on the line, and we had a chance at the end. We just came a couple of free throws short, a couple of layups short, and that's life. But, again, I told them in the locker room I couldn't be more proud of to be their head coach, what they did to get this program back. And special things are to come because this is not just a one-year thing for us. We plan on being back every year.
Moving on with questions for our student athletes.
Alana, obviously, Coach Purcell as well as anyone on this team, what gives you the confidence knowing that, even when your time with the program is done, that, Mississippi State's in a good place, with him at the helm?
Just him and what he stands for and his purpose. He's a great coach, but he's a better person. And so I know that he'll take care of the X's and O's, but I know that everybody's going to love him for him, and I think that makes the job much easier. So,
Justin Fromer, Commercial Dispatch. Courtney, just how frustrating was it out there in terms of just the shooting the three-point shots, especially 2 days after what you guys did at Creighton, and you're seeing one after another, off the mark?
I wouldn't exactly say it was frustrating. We just wish some more shots would have went in, but I think everybody just was in the moment. I think a lot of us, this was our last college game ever, so we were just happy to be out there, honestly. And just to compete and to be here and make it out the first four. I mean, we're doing stuff that nobody has done, so.
Courtney, kind of to follow up on that, what do you think this team did well today to kind of make up for the shooting struggles and stay, in the game up till the final seconds there?
I think the preparation we put in, everybody being locked in, we tried to execute on everything. I think we played phenomenal defense, team defense. And more importantly, I think we just had each other's back. Even though shots weren't going in, we had each other's back the whole time. So, yeah.
Gracie Barra, WCBI, you talk about this being a lot of people's last college game and just the emotions are very evident. Reflecting on your time at Mississippi State, I guess, how glad are you that you went through this and can be sitting here now?
I think I'm very glad. I think this year taught me a lot, honestly. I went through a lot of adversity. It just to be here right now, to make it to the tournament my last year, to change the culture of this program. I mean, it meant everything.
We have a question in the back from Zoom.
All right, we'll continue with our questions on Zoom. Gabriella, you are free.
Gabriella Lewis next. Building off that, both Courtney and Alana, can you just talk about what does it mean to end your college career getting a tournament run like this with this team and doing it with a first-year head coach like Coach Purcell?
It means everything. We came, nobody believed in us, and we made history. I felt like you can't ask for nothing better than that. Like I said, nobody was on our side. Nobody believed in us. So the fact that we made it this far is amazing, and it's something I will never take for granted.
I think just looking back at it, as we get older in life, this is just something we're going to look back at. We trusted Coach Sam. We both left different schools to come here. We had 1 year left. I mean, making it here was everything. We put in the prep since the summer, the first day we stepped on campus. So,
Any follow-ups on Zoom?
Any other questions for our
Okay.
student athletes?
We have one more on Zoom. Go ahead.
To any of y'all, just if you could speak a little bit about Anastasia Hayes, what she's meant to this program, a similar position to y'all, and, just everything that she's done.
She's been amazing. Just like I said, what she stands for, her purpose, the way she attacks every day is amazing, and I have to give her all her flowers. She's one hell of a player, but she's a great person. And it was a joy just to be able to spend my last year and play with somebody as great as her.
yeah, I think Annie doesn't get enough credit for the role that she had to take this year. She was like the returning leading scorer in the SEC. And in order for us to succeed this year, she had to take like a role and distribute the ball more. And she took that with class. She didn't complain. She took that role. And as you can see, the way we ended the season, obviously it helped. So thank you, Annie, for that.
Thank you, Annie.
Lana, Courtney, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach Purcell?
Sam, from your perspective, what do you believe this run could do, not just for, I guess, your vision for the future for the program, but also in terms on the national landscape of college basketball?
Yeah, when I hired my staff, our goal was to bring the returners back because we knew how special it was, go in the portal and get some good kids and try to make as many positive statements as we could in year one. And it just wasn't basketball. We were fortunate this year to have a top 15 attendance in the country that values women's basketball. We wanted to give back to the community as much as they gave back to us. My young women had the highest GPA turnaround of any sport on campus. And then what they did this year on national television in a week where we went from are they getting in, the first four out, to now being a team that said, why were they seated like they were? All we wanted to do is let the world know that Mississippi State is a special place with special people, and we plan on doing special things, and I think we did that in year one.
Along with Courtney and Alana, I mean this team had a good amount of seniors that saw their career end today. I guess what did it mean to you what does that senior group, I guess, mean to you, and how much did they kind of help change the culture, as Courtney said?
Yeah, they're obviously, with me being a first-year head coach, they're going to be forever special. Nobody ever forgets your first. So for this group, like I said, in a climate where it's easy to transfer schools, or I was some of their fourth head coach. And they're being patient and sticking with me. But like Courtney and Alana talked about, for me, it was more special because of the relationships that we had. I talked about when I took the job that, any time that I've had success anywhere else I've been, it's been more than basketball. It's felt like a basketball family. And it felt like a basketball family this year who truly care for each other. And obviously today's a hard day because we didn't want this to end and didn't plan to.
Coach in the back here, Austin Huff from the Goshen News. Just for this game specifically, how much did the rebounding battle, they out-rebounded you by 17. Obviously, that played a big factor in today's game.
It did. In a game where we struggle to score points, we're phenomenal when we can get out in the open court and run. But if you can't rebound, they just were able to slow the tempo. We've had games like this before where we get stagnant and they're just able to load the box. Notre Dame's got something special. They've got a lot of size, even at the point 1 through 5. We knew it would be an absolute war, so that's why we try to get after it full court and wear them out. For as strong as they were, we were trying to get steals. I thought early in that first half, we were 1 or 2 passes from getting a deflection to getting an easy one. We had some breakaway layups that when we finally got it, we wanted it so bad that we should have took it 1-on-5. That's the one we needed to kick out for an easy shot. But again, you just got to credit them. They were able to mix defenses. They played relentless, and they played power basketball. I thought it was a great game for women's basketball and 2 teams that absolutely left it out on the floor.
Sam, two quick questions. One being, were you given any word on what exactly happened to Ani's hand there in the first half?
I didn't. I just kind of looked at her like all year. She gave me that look like, okay, coach, I'm ready. So I said, if you say you're ready, let's go. So she went back out there and left it out on the floor.
And then have you gotten a read at all on whether Jessica may make a decision to come back?
Yeah, that hasn't been a discussion. When I took the job, my first goal was, you know what, let me earn your trust and your respect. Let me give you everything I got in year one, and we'll have those discussions afterwards. But I have a responsibility as a head coach, along with my staff, like we did, to pour into these young women and give them stuff because, as you can imagine, they've been through a lot. So we wanted some stability in year one and just love on them as much as we could, and I thought we did a great job of that.
To hear Alana and Courtney get so emotional about being here at Mississippi State and being able to play their last college basketball game in that uniform, and then you have your other seniors too, returners. I guess what does that mean to you to have them say that and get so emotional about it?
Yeah. Are you going 4 for 4 today? All right, you always get me. But no, again, that's the goal of a head coach. Yeah, we get hired because you want to win championships and there's expectations in sports, but it's bigger than that. It's about pouring into the young women's lives, trying to make a positive impact from the years 18 to 22, help make sure that they get their degree, but also have a healthy environment that they can thrive in and enjoy. Basketball is something they've played all their life, and I take pride in making sure that every day they show up and wake up that they're going to come into an environment that they love. For them to say those words and forever be grateful to play here, and most importantly, be grateful for our fan base, again, that's bigger than any win could provide.
We'll take a few questions from Zoom. We'll go with Robbie first. Robbie?
Hey, Sam. Congrats on a great season. When you took the job, you had to rebuild fairly quickly with some players out of the transfer portal, and obviously worked out for you well. But I guess the downside of that is a lot of those players are having to move out. You're having to add some more this year. I mean, what's your outlook right now on the team that you got returning and what you could possibly do with next year's team?
Yeah, to be fair, Robbie, again, it's kind of like the question I asked earlier. My mindset right now is let's put a product on the floor in year one because obviously, like we've talked about, there's narratives out there. I'm forever grateful for Mississippi State hiring a first-year coach because you got to have somebody believe in you. And I'm forever grateful to the university for giving me a chance. So my mindset was once I was given that chance, just like my team, just let me in the door. Let me put my foot in the door, and once I'm in the door, let's kick it wide open. And then once we've kicked it open and we've shown joy and we've played at the highest level and we've made a national stance, those things that you're talking about, players, we'll find the right players now that this season's over with that want to be a part of something special and continue to do special things.
We'll continue with Gabriella's question from Zoom.
Gabriella Lewis, the next. Similar to what I asked your players, can you talk about Anastasia Hayes' impact? I know you were eager to keep her in Starkville and what she's meant to this team. And going off of the previous question, what do we expect next for Mississippi State?
Yeah, well, Annie Hayes, again, I can't say enough good things. I mean, think about it. When I came, I told her, I said, I know you were the leading scorer. I know they only had 7 players and you played significant minutes, but our goal, Annie, in your last year is to be more than just a scorer because I believe that's who you are. I believe that you're a winner, that you're going to be able to get after it no other like she did tonight. I mean, she was an absolute joy to watch. There was a couple of calls that obviously didn't go her way, but she was pressing like no other. There was a reason we held them to 53 points, and it started with Annie Hayes. And then she just has a skill set and a speed that I compare to Dana Evans that has just been, it's a joy to coach. She can change the game, but most importantly, she has a great smile. And like you heard, this season happened because Annie Hayes was willing to be the ultimate team player. So because she was willing to take on a role and set the standard for others, then obviously I'm forever grateful. And then the second question, again, like I said, I'll never forget when somebody came up and I was walking the baseball field and they said, Coach, NCAA or bust. And I told them I didn't come here to lose. All right, so with this season being done, obviously I'll still reflect on it because I wasn't prepared for an end of the speech because I thought this team was going to make a possible Elite Eight, Final Four run. I thought we were that good, but tonight, again, you got to give credit to Notre Dame. But like I told them in the locker room, this is by no means by me being the leader of this program, being a one and done. I've got one of the best staffs in the country. I got a university that most importantly supports women's basketball. We'll put the right pieces at the right time for next year's team, and we plan on returning back.
We have a follow-up question from Robbie. Go ahead.
Yes, Sam. I just was interested in what you learned this year being a first-time head coach. I mean, you've been an assistant, you've been around great coaches, but I know until you get in that chair, you can't really fully grasp, what it takes to be a head coach. What did you learn for the day-to-day operations and, being around these girls and running your own program?
Yeah, great question. What I learned was you win with people. You win with people in life. No one person can do this by themselves. Again, I'm so thankful for my athletic director, our school president, the university who invest in women's basketball and invest in women's sports. Because first and foremost, that's not how it is around the country. And then for anything that we needed, support from my young women, there was never, why are you asking this or what kind of question is that? There was always, let's find an answer and let's do what's best for our student athletes. And then I learned again what you can overcome in life when you get a group of young women who believe. We put, again, why not us on the board? Because when we got this job, the narrative was Mississippi State women's basketball is done. Its glory days are done, but I told them, I said, if we get the same amount of days as everybody in the country and we walk up every single day and we think we outwork our opponent, then why not us? Why can't we be one of the better programs in the country? And no matter who writes about us or who doesn't write about us, go get what's yours. And I try to teach them the beauty in sports. Those are life lessons, that when people doubt you, roll up your sleeves and go to work and be absolute Bulldog. And most importantly, they were unbelievable Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.